Did you know that, despite being called Iron Man, his suit is actually made from a titanium gold alloy? Sounds pretty reasonable. If you're planning to fly through skyscrapers and go toe-to-toe with cosmic gods, you'd want a material that's as strong as steel, but light enough to actually get off the ground. But here's the part that might surprise you. Titanium is actually the 9th most abundant element in the Earth's crust. It's right beneath our feet, in sand, in rocks, almost everywhere. So if it's that common, why does a single titanium screw cost up to 10 times more than steel? This is QC Project. Simple things. Today, we're diving into the paradox of a material that's incredibly abundant, yet frustratingly expensive. If you're looking for a giant vein of pure titanium, I have some bad news. It doesn't exist in nature. Unlike gold or silver, which can sometimes be found as pure metals, titanium is chemically reactive. It bonds very easily with oxygen, meaning it is always locked inside other minerals. The two main sources we use are minerals called ilmenite and rutile. Most of these aren't found in traditional deep mines, but rather in mineral sands on ancient coastlines. Imagine massive dredgers scooping up tons of ordinary-looking sand just to separate the specific heavy grains that contain titanium. It's a process of high-volume sifting to find the raw ingredients for the high-tech materials we use today. But here's the kicker. After all that digging, what we get isn't even metal yet. What we typically collect is a dark, sand-like mineral concentrate. Mining is actually the easiest part of the story. The real challenge is that titanium holds onto oxygen atoms with an incredibly strong chemical bond. Breaking that chemical bond to get pure metal requires a massive amount of energy and very specific conditions, which brings us to the Kroll process. Unlike iron, which you can simply melt in a blast furnace with some carbon, titanium is far too stubborn for that. If you try to heat it in open air, it eagerly reacts with oxygen and nitrogen, becoming brittle and useless. To obtain pure metal, the Kroll process was developed. First, the ore is converted into titanium tetrachloride, TiCl4, a volatile liquid. It is then fed into a sealed stainless steel vessel filled with argon gas to remove all air. Finally, molten magnesium is added to the mixture to steal the chlorine away, leaving behind pure titanium. But the process doesn't end there. This reaction takes several days of intense heating and produces a porous metallic lump known as titanium sponge. Because it's a batch process, meaning we can only make one tank at a time, it is incredibly slow and energy-intensive. Every pound of titanium you see represents days of carefully controlled heat and a massive electric bill. Can you imagine a factory that has to wait days just to finish one batch of material? That's exactly why your high-end gear costs a fortune. It's not just a metal, it's a massive investment of time and energy. At this point, you've spent days and a fortune just to get titanium sponge. But you can't build a jet engine out of a sponge. To turn it into something useful, we have to melt it down. But here's the catch. Titanium is so reactive that even a tiny bit of air or a dirty container will ruin the whole batch. To fix this, we use a process called vacuum arc remelting, VAR. We place the sponge in a massive vacuum chamber, suck out every last molecule of air, and use an intense electric arc to melt it into a solid, ultra-pure ingot. It's like trying to cook a 5-star meal while making sure not a single speck of dust enters the kitchen. This ingot is finally the super metal we promised, but the cost has doubled again. Every time we melt, cast, or forge this metal, we have to protect it from the environment with specialized equipment and inert gases. It's a relentless battle against oxygen that requires massive amounts of electricity and precision. Even with the perfect alloy in hand, the final challenge is shaping it, and titanium is notoriously difficult to cut. In the machining world, titanium is known as a work-hardening metal. This means that the moment a cutting tool touches it, the surface becomes even harder and tougher than it was before. To make matters worse, titanium is a poor conductor of heat. While steel lets heat escape through the metal chips, titanium traps all that thermal energy right at the tip of the cutting tool. If the operator isn't careful, the heat can build up so fast that it literally melts the expensive drill bits, or, in extreme cases, causes the titanium dust to catch fire. This means factories have to slow down, use specialized cooling fluids, and replace their tools much more often than usual. Every cut must be precise, and every movement must be calculated to handle the pushback from the metal. It's a slow, expensive ballet of engineering that adds yet another zero to the final price tag. But when you hold a finished titanium part, you're holding the result of a hard-won victory over physics and chemistry. So, we've made it through the chemical fires and vacuum chambers, but how do we make this metal actually look and feel like a finished product? Finishing titanium isn't just about aesthetics, it's a task that demands extreme precision. Because titanium is so hard and wear-resistant, traditional polishing methods used for gold or silver barely leave a scratch on it. Machinists often have to use diamond-tipped tools or specialized ceramic abrasives just to smooth the surface, and that only adds more time to the production line. If you've ever admired the brushed or matte finish of a high-end watch, you're looking at hours of meticulous work with tolerances measured in microns. Then there's the magic of color, without using a single drop of paint. Through a process called anodizing, engineers use electricity to grow a controlled oxide layer on the surface. Depending on the voltage, the light reflects differently, creating vibrant purples, blues, or golds. It's a permanent, scratch-resistant color that's literally part of the metal itself. This blend of brutal strength and delicate artistry is what makes titanium so special. Does it make you feel a bit more super knowing the phone in your pocket went through a lightning-induced makeover? It's the perfect end to a journey that started with simple beach sand. After hearing about energy-hungry furnaces, vacuum chambers, and destroyed drill bits, you might be wondering, is it really worth it? The answer lies in the remarkable balance of properties that no other metal can match. Titanium is as strong as steel, but 45% lighter, making it an ultimate material for aerospace and high-performance engineering. It's also nearly immune to corrosion. You could leave a block of titanium at the bottom of the ocean for a century, and it would come back virtually unchanged. From the deepest parts of the sea to the vacuum of space, titanium survives where other materials fail. It's an eternal metal that stays with us for a lifetime, sometimes quite literally, as it exists inside the human body in the form of life-saving implants. In the end, we're not paying for the rarity of the atoms. We're paying for the human ingenuity required to master them. When you choose titanium, you're not just buying a material, you're buying thousands of hours of extreme engineering and absolute precision. In all this talk about super metals, there's one question that matters most. What impact does it have on the environment? Titanium processing is a double-edged sword when it comes to sustainability. On one hand, because it's so light and durable, titanium helps aircraft burn significantly less fuel and last so long that parts don't need to be replaced often. It's a champion of longevity. On the other hand, that energy bill we mentioned earlier isn't just about money, it's about carbon. The Kroll process requires enormous amounts of electricity and produces chemical byproducts like magnesium chloride that must be carefully managed. Mining those heavy mineral sands also means moving massive amounts of earth, which can disrupt local ecosystems if not handled responsibly. The good news is that we're racing to find greener ways to harness this metal. Scientists are developing new electrolysis-based methods that could significantly reduce energy use and carbon emissions. On top of that, because titanium is so valuable, industrial scrap recycling rates are extremely high. Almost nothing goes to waste. Want to prove that your titanium gear isn't just cheap painted steel? You can become an expert in exactly 10 seconds. First, try the sound test. If you have a titanium ring or a small part, drop it gently onto a hard surface or tap it with a metal pen. Titanium has a unique, high-pitched tink that sounds much more like glass or crystal than the dull thud of heavy steel. It's a crisp, musical ring that tells you the metal is incredibly stiff and light. Does your watch sing to you, or does it just hit the table with a boring clank? Next up is the spark test, but only if you're in a safe workshop. If you briefly bring titanium into contact with a grinder, it produces brilliant white sparks that are almost blinding. Unlike the orange or red sparks from iron or steel, titanium burns bright like a tiny star. This happens because titanium is so reactive that it can actually ignite in air when turned into fine particles. So in just 10 seconds, you've become an expert on one of the toughest metals on the planet. Titanium reminds us that value isn't always about how little of something there is in the world. Often, the true cost lies in the immense effort, the extreme energy, and the stubborn human will require to turn something common into something extraordinary. It is a material that challenges us to be better, to engineer deeper, and to look at the world with a bit more curiosity. I hope that the next time you see that TI symbol or feel the lightweight strength of a titanium watch, you'll think of the incredible science hiding in plain sight. This is QC Project Simple Things. If this exploration of titanium's expensive secret gave you a new perspective on the gadgets in your pocket, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. We have a long list of everyday mysteries ready to be solved, and we don't want you to miss a single one.